is dealing with some form of non-human intelligence. It's always been with us, it probably will be with us forever.
On the subject of abductions, I think that it's definitely a very real phenomena and is going on a worldwide basis. I think occasionally, sometimes there can be alternative explanations, such as sleep paralysis. That's where your body shuts down to go to sleep, but then you wake up again and find you can't move at all, but you can look around. And that has similarities to one of the aspects of the abduction phenomena. However, I don't believe that it's the cause of a lot of them. There's evidence that people are actually physically taken. They come up with markings on their bodies that they'll sometimes remember later has come from an instrument used by the creatures during their abduction. And also you've got the alien implants, where small implants are sometimes found inside the abductees. And again, that coincides with what they remember of the experience. The implants are generally a mix of compounds and various metals. They're not, say, a small silicone chip or anything like that, for the most part. And I think the reason behind this is so that if we actually find the implants, we can't use those as evidence for it being a genuine abduction, because the creatures appear to not want the human race to know what they're up to. When people are taken during the abduction experiences, I think that there's a lot of evidence to suggest that at least some of them are actually physical, but there's also some aspects of the phenomena that appear to be more metaphysical or spiritual, in the way that they're taken through the wall of their house or out of their car and drift up into the air. So it's possible that some of them it's just their mind being taken rather than their actual physical self.
So, with metaphysical abductions as well as physical abductions, it links back to what David Boyle said before.
You ask most people how many actual physical bodies they've got, and they'll say one. Yet if we look back in time, we'll find out that in the past, people believed that there was a physical body, and then there was a soul inside it, making two. So the word out-of-body experience suddenly becomes more real. So it shows you've got more than one body, the very words, because out-of-body means that's not you in the body, you're out of it. And in all out-of-body or near-death experiences, people observe their empty body, which means it's not them. And of course, that shows you we have many more bodies than just one.
Moving on with our investigation, we asked David Sadler, member of the UPIA, his opinion on alien abductions.
We have received reports of alien abductees, from alien abductees in the past, and this is a very, very touchy area. I mean, you could go down into the realms of psychiatry, psychology, but these people obviously are convinced of what takes place. And I'm not saying these things haven't took place, but what people don't take into account, who do have odd experiences at night, their night terrors and sleep paralysis, are different types of sleep disorders, narcolepsy. There's a whole realm of different varieties of sleep disorders that take place, and people don't realise that they're suffering from things. And that's also classified in the same way within the paranormal. Within narcolepsy, people are reporting to have small beings enter the room and fingers touching them in the night, which is a classic report of alien abductees. But at the same time, people being touched by small people in the night, chills, people sitting on the edge of the bed, could also be related to the paranormal. So the alien abduction scenarios are very interesting world over, more so in the USA obviously, but there's still a lot of reports from people in the UK. We've recently received one report from down in Kent, and they've asked us to put them in touch with an abductee support group. The best one I knew of until recently, when a gentleman who ran it, a British ufologist, actually passed away, unfortunately. So we're in the process of trying to find a group we think would be able to help them rather than, I don't know, hinder them. One major alien abductee case which is known internationally and it's actually local, was in Didsbury back in 1977, and that of Linda Jones, who was walking along with her son and daughter and witnessed what they thought was a UFO. Things actually took a bit of a turn and loss of time took place. little green men were witnessed, etc., etc. That was in 1977, and that's still being studied today. The case is still being studied because things are still taking place because of that. And that's a case which intrigues me, because I've got a contact who's actually the person, one of my good friends is actually the person who's been looking at the case for many, many years, and the information he's come across with and his belief changed my views of alien abductions a lot. Another classic case of something odd happened just behind me. This is Bosley Cloud. We're actually at Timbersbrook Nature Reserve at the moment. Bosley Cloud's behind me. It's a big prominent place within the East Cheshire area just south of Congleton. And on the back of that is the Brightstones, which is a Neolithic burial cairn where a lot of odd events take place, paranormally and possibly ufologically. Back in 1982, a gentleman was driving home from Chester and had to stop for have a wee. And when he stopped to have a wee near the burial cairn, he witnessed a globe of ball of dazzling light, and woke up an hour and a half later in a field minus his clothes. And when he found his clothes, which were in his car had stopped. His clothes were still warm, the car was static to touch, and he drove on back to Leek and reported this to a friend sometime later. So again, something that we've been looking at because of that, going back over that period of time. We may have some answers to what took place that night, but again, it's going to be a long-running investigation and process for that.